4:30 a.m. in Miramar, Florida. Inside a Dodge Journey, 4 friends from the YNW crew were heading back after a late-night recording session. But in seconds, it turned into a nightmare. 11 shots rang out from inside the car. 10 of them hit, leaving 2 dead and a cover-up story that wouldn't hold. The driver pulled up to Memorial Hospital, Miramar, claiming a drive-by shooting by rivals. But the victims, Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony YNW Sakchaser Williams, were already gone. Juvy, 21, took multiple hits to the head and torso. Sakchaser, also 21, was struck in the head and arm. Pronounced dead on arrival, police impounded the car, finding bullet holes that looked staged, drilled from the outside after the fact. But who were these 2 young men cut down in their prime? Why them, and what led to this? Let's go back to where it all started, in the small town of Gifford, Florida, where dreams of music clashed with the harsh reality of the streets. Christopher YNW Juvy, Thomas Jr., was born in Florida, growing up in Gifford, a place known for its tight community, but also its struggles with poverty and crime. According to family statements in the Miami Herald from 2019, Juvy was loyal, always putting friends first. He got into music early, rapping with his crew to escape the daily grind. Part of the Young Nigga World, YNWJ Collective, he featured on tracks like No Love, showing his talent for raw lyrics about life on the edge. Friends described him as the one who kept the group grounded, with a smile that lit up sessions. He had dreams of making it big, collaborating and building a future beyond Gifford. Anthony YNW Sakchaser Williams, also 21, came from the same world. Born in Florida, he was energetic, the hype man of the group. According to Hip Hop DX reports from 2019, Sakchaser contributed to YNW's sound, adding fire to their mixtapes. He grew up with the others, sharing the same hood stories, family challenges, street pressures. His verses often touched on chasing success, hence the name Sakchaser. He was the type to motivate the crew during long nights in the studio, pushing for that breakout hit. Both Juvy and Sakchaser were childhood friends with Jamell Demons, better known as YNW Melly. They formed YNW in Gifford, turning their experiences into music that resonated. But as fame grew, so did tensions. That night, October 26th, they left a recording session in Fort Lauderdale. Melly, Henry, YNW Bortland, Juvy, and Sakchaser in Henry's Dodge Journey. Shots fired from the back seat per ballistics. 11 casings matched a gun later found at Melly's home. According to FBI lab report from 2019, Juvy and Sakchaser didn't stand a chance. Wounds from point-blank range. Henry drove to the hospital, calling 911 to claim a drive-by by Vatos Locos gang, but forensics showed otherwise. Interior trajectories, no external entry points matching a drive-by. Sitting in a car with friends, thinking the night's wrapping up, and then, silence forever. How does trust turn to tragedy so fast? The hospital scene was chaos, doctors trying to save them, police questioning Henry. The YNW crew's bond shattered, and the hunt for answers began. As the sun rose, Miramar PD started piecing it together. The car told a different story. No drive-by damage, staged holes. From there, the investigation picked up speed, leading to arrests that shocked the hip-hop world. But first, remember Juvy and Sakchaser, not just victims, but talents lost too soon, their music still echoing in Gifford. The brutality that night wasn't random, it was personal. As police dug, the truth emerged step by step. According to the Miramar Police Department incident report filed that morning, Henry told the first officers on scene the same story he would repeat for months. They had been driving on the Interstate 95 when a black SUV pulled up alongside them. Shots came from the passenger side of that SUV, targeting the YNW crew because of gang rivalries. By 6:00 a.m., the car was towed to the Miramar Police impound lot. Crime scene technicians arrived with cameras and evidence kits. They started with the basics: photographs of the interior, blood pools on the front seats, phones scattered on the floor, a half-empty water bottle in the cup holder. Then they moved to the bullets. 11 9mm shell casings, all ejected from the same semi-automatic pistol, according to the initial field test. No gun in the vehicle. The technicians examined the exterior next. 8 holes on the driver's side door and fender. But up close, under the floodlights, the edges were too smooth. According to the Broward Sheriff's Office Crime Lab preliminary report dated November 2, 2018, the holes showed tool marks consistent with a drill bit, not high-velocity impacts. The diameter matched a standard 9mm drill bot at any hardware store. Someone had tried to make it look like shots came from outside after the fact. That detail changed everything. Drive-by? Unlikely. This was something contained, something personal. Detectives looped in the Broward State Attorney's Office by noon. The case shifted from gang unit to homicide. Henry was brought in for a formal interview at the Miramar PD station that afternoon. He stuck to his story: the black SUV, the Vatos Locos, the sudden barrage. He even sketched the attacker's car for the sketch artist. But when asked about the shooter in their car, Jamell Demons, he said Demons was in the back, ducking down, unharmed. He was scared too, Henry said, per the interview transcript. Over the next 48 hours, the forensics team tore the Dodge Journey apart. They removed the seats, vacuumed for trace evidence, and sent samples to the FBI lab in Quantico for gunshot residue testing. Results came back fast. GSR on the front seats, but also trace amounts in the back, consistent with a shooter firing from behind the victims. Bullet trajectories, mapped with laser tools, all angled forward from the rear seats. No shots from the side or rear, as a drive-by would require. The lab report presented in the 2023 trial concluded the pattern is inconsistent with external gunfire. Phone records were the next break. Detectives subpoenaed all 4 phones from the car. GPS data showed the group together from the studio straight to the hospital. No stops, no detours. No calls or texts to or from known Vatos Locos members. But one detail stood out. All 4 phones pinged the same cell towers in sequence. Locked in the same vehicle. No second car nearby. Digital forensics experts from the Broward County Sheriff's Office confirmed it in a report dated December 2018. Surveillance helped too. Gas station cameras on State Road 7 captured the Dodge Journey, all 4 men visible inside, laughing, no signs of tension. No black SUV in sight. The studio's own footage showed them leaving together, arms around each other. By early November, the case had a name: staged homicide. But they needed more. An anonymous tip came in on November 15, a listener who had heard Melly's new song, Murder on My Mind. The lyrics, "I just murdered somebody, and I didn't even mean to." The tipster said it sounded too real. Detectives pulled the music video, released just weeks after the shooting. Melly rapping about a dream where he shoots his friends, then wakes up guilty. According to NBC Miami's 2019 coverage, investigators saw it as a veiled confession. They looped in the FBI's behavioral analysis unit for a profile. The gun was the missing piece. In January 2019, a search warrant for Melly's Gifford home turned up a 9mm handgun hidden in a closet. Ballistics matched the shell casings from the car, same rifling marks, per the FBI lab report filed February 5, 2019. The gun had been cleaned, but residue tests linked it. Henry's story started cracking. In a follow-up interview on January 10th, he added details about the rival car that didn't match his first account. They were arrested without incident. Melly, 19 at the time, asked, "What's this about?" Officers read the charges. He went quiet. According to the arrest report, Melly had $20,000 cash in his bag, a burner phone, and lyrics scribbled on a notepad. Henry had the keys to the Dodge Journey, which was still in evidence. News broke fast.
Now a break in the case of a double murder in Miramar.
2 people now behind bars, including a South Florida rapper who actually sings a popular song about murder.
Local 10's Christian De La Rosa joining us live now with more on the suspects arrested today. Christian.
That's right, and take a look here. Just moments ago, we obtained this rapper's mugshot from the Broward County Jail. He has turned himself into authorities tonight. He and his alleged accomplice now behind bars.
The arrests were just the start. With Melly and Henry in custody, the case moved to the courtroom. But the legal road ahead was long and twisted. Detectives handed over their files, phone records, ballistics, surveillance, to the Broward State Attorney's Office. And the gears of the legal system started turning, one motion at a time. The grand jury had already done its work. On February 12, 2019, they reviewed the evidence: the staged bullet holes, the the GPS data showing no rival car, the gun from Melly's home matching the casings. According to the indictment filed that day, Melly was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and Henry with 2 counts of accessory after the fact. Prosecutors labeled it premeditated, opening the door for the death penalty under Florida law at the time, which required a unanimous jury for execution, but allowed non-unanimous for conviction. Melly, 19 years old, was booked into Broward County Jail. Henry went to the same facility, no bail for either. Too high a flight risk, as Judge Lona Holmes ruled in their initial appearance on February 14, 2019. Melly appeared via video link, wearing an orange jumpsuit, saying little beyond, "Yes, Your Honor." Henry did the same. Their lawyers entered not guilty pleas, setting the stage for what would become one of Florida's longest-running, high-profile cases. Pre-trial hearings kicked off in March 2019. The defense, led by attorney Jason Roger Williams, filed motions to suppress evidence. First up, the gun from Melly's home. They argued the search warrant was based on shaky probable cause, the anonymous tip linking "Murder on My Mind" lyrics to the crime. Prosecutors countered with the ballistics match, citing the FBI lab report from February 5, 2019. Judge Holmes denied the motion on April 5, 2019, ruling the warrant valid. Next, the lyrics themselves. Defense said, using "Murder on My Mind" as evidence violated free speech, calling it artistic expression, not a confession. The song, released before the shooting, describes a dream about killing a friend. Prosecutors pointed to the timing, re-released with a video after the murders, and argued it showed mindset. According to court transcripts from May 2019, Judge Holmes allowed it in, but limited to context, not direct proof. Delays started piling up. COVID-19 hit in March 2020, shutting down courts statewide. Hearings went virtual, but jury trials halted. Melly tested positive for COVID in April 2020, per jail records, leading to a medical furlough request denied. He stayed in isolation. By 2021, the case had over 50 pre-trial hearings, covering everything from witness lists to digital evidence authentication. The defense kept pushing. In June 2021, they filed for a speedy trial, arguing Melly had been jailed over 800 days without a verdict, violating his rights. Prosecutors blamed the pandemic. Judge Holmes set the trial for March 2022, but it slipped to June 12, 2023 due to more motions. The first trial finally began on June 12, 2023 in the Broward County Courthouse in Fort Lauderdale. Judge John J. Murphy III presided. Jury selection took 2 weeks. 12 jurors, mostly from Broward, with a mix of ages and backgrounds. Prosecutors sought the death penalty, requiring proof of premeditation. Opening statements. Lead prosecutor Christine Bradley laid out the staging. The evidence shows Jamell Demons fired those shots from the back seat, then helped stage the scene to look like a drive-by, she said, per Law and Crime Network coverage, which streamed the entire trial live. She pointed to the forensics. Bullet trajectories from rear to front, no external damage until after. The gun match, the drill holes. Step by step, she connected the dots. Defense attorney Bradford Cohen, who took over in 2023, countered, this was a real drive-by by rivals. The evidence is circumstantial, and the delays have tainted the case. He highlighted Henry's inconsistent statements and suggested police rushed to charge Melly because of his fame.
We are here because the defendant murdered 2 individuals.
The state says YNW Melly is a cold-blooded killer, while the defense says the state can't prove it.
Why he would commit such a heinous crime against his own 2 best friends for no reason.
We're looking at the top 11 moments from week 1 of the YNW Melly trial.
Closing arguments, July 17, 2023. Prosecution. The staging proves guilt. Demons pulled the trigger over money disputes. Defense. Circumstantial at best. Rivals did it. Police botched the investigation. Jury deliberated 18 hours over 3 days. On July 22, 2023, they came back hung 10-2 for acquittal on some counts, per juror interviews in NBC Miami. Mistrial declared. prosecutors vowed to retrial. Post-mistrial, delays ramped up. In October 2023, jury reselection, but paused for appeals on evidence. The defense won one, pre-murder texts between Melly and victims excluded, as per the 4th District Court of Appeals ruling on October 16, 2025. Two charges hit in April 2024, witness tampering. Melly and Henry allegedly conspired to kill a witness named Maverick via Fredo Bang, based on jail calls. Separate trial pending December 5, 2024, per NBC Miami. Retrial was set for September 10, 2025, but delayed to January 2027 by the appeals court on August 18, 2025, for evidence review. Bond denied May 13, 2025. Melly's been in jail over 2,500 days. Henry's plea came September 9, 2025, no contest to accessory, 10 years with time served per TC Parem. October 2, 2025, his prefer agreement means he could testify against Melly, saying Melly fired the shots. Melly fired his lawyers August 28, 2025, over conflicts, hiring Brad Cohen, who repped Cardi B. Current status, discovery phase, appeals ongoing. If convicted, Melly faces life or death. Florida's law now requires unanimous for death. Post-2023 changes. The legal road has been full of turns, but the core question remains, premeditated murder or a rival hit? Months turning into years, hearings stacking up like bricks. How long can a man sit in a cell waiting for his day in court? Law and Crime Network covered it all, streaming every session, showing the jury debates, the evidence displays. Their clips capture the tension, the families in the gallery, the lawyers battling over every detail. The mistrial left everyone hanging, but the retrial looms. Penalties if convicted? Life without parole minimum? Death possible if premeditation proven? With the courtroom battles raging, the world outside kept moving. Families grieving, fans divided, lessons emerging. The courtroom doors closed on yet another hearing, but for the families, the hip-hop community, and everyone watching from afar, the story of that night in the Dodge journey kept unfolding in ways no judge could control. Years after the shots rang out on Route and Drive, the pain lingered, the debates raged, and the questions about justice hung heavy. Let's walk through what came next, the human toll, the ripples in the music world, and the hard lessons that emerged, all while keeping an eye on how we can use this to make things better. Vigils turned into protests in Gifford, where locals demanded better youth programs to prevent the kind of tensions that allegedly led to the shooting. Changes did come, though slowly. Florida lawmakers cited the delays in Melly's trial when pushing speedy trial reforms in 2022. HB 123 cut non-essential hearings during pandemics, but critics say it's not enough, as Melly's case drags to 2027. The tampering charges in 2024 added fuel. When prosecutors revealed jail calls plotting against witness Maverick, it shifted public view for some. Public hopes? Victims' families want closure, a verdict, no matter the outcome. Community in Gifford, better funding for music programs, per a 2025 petition with 5,000 signatures on Change.org, to give kids outlets beyond the streets. Lessons learned. First, the dangers of internal beefs in crews. Money splits can turn deadly, as prosecution argued. Second, lyrics as evidence. ACLU critiques in 2020 called it a chilling effect on black artists, leading to 2023 Florida bills limiting rap lyrics in trials, though not retroactive.
The trial for rapper YNW Melly continues. The rising South Florida rapper is accused of killing two friends back in 2018. Prosecutors say that he tried covering it up as a drive-by shooting, and now his actions in court are going viral. NBC 6's Heather Walker has the video. She's live with more. Heather.
Yeah, it's a moment that's making many cringe. Melly blowing a kiss in court.
He did it a couple times. Yeah. So he was doing it a couple times. That wasn't his first time. Yeah.
Jamell Demons, known as YNW Melly or Melly, has been seen smiling and laughing in court, but it was this moment that is now being shared online. Really? He appears to be praying and then blows a kiss, the mother of one of the victims calling it disrespectful.
and walked out because I don't, what you praying for? Because you sitting over there like you don't got no remorse. Like every time I walk in, you smiling. You know, this ain't the time for that. This case is sad. This is serious.
Leandra Phillips' son, Christopher Phillips, known as YNW Juvy, and Anthony Williams, known as YNW Sakchaser, were both shot and killed while in an SUV with Melly and Cortland Henry back in October of 2018. The victims' families say all four were close, and before the murder charges, Melly was considered a best friend.
This somebody that we knew, this somebody that we loved, this somebody that we trusted. Like, we watched him grow up, literally. So this is like a sad case. It's a tragic, and we just praying for justice.
Raising awareness. This case shows how fame amplifies risks. Watch your circle, document disputes, seek mediation early. Support legal aid for artists. Donate to funds like the one for Juvy's family. Talk about mental health in hip-hop. The pressure of rising fast can break bonds. If this breakdown opened your eyes to the system's grind and the human cost, hit subscribe, like, share, comment. Let's spread awareness so stories like Juvy and Sakchaser's don't repeat. Justice delayed isn't always denied, but awareness speeds it up.